At this point, nothing is holding Biafra again for not going because everybody don't conclude now. Even the past governor, past presidents on a meeting, there was a meeting they had. Past governor, past presidents, everybody, Goodluck, Jonathan, everybody did there. They conclude on how they go get peaceful exit of Biafra so that they go get peace. You understand? Because the way they want to do right now so that they go still kill other people. Because they know say the reason why United States they come Nigeria now because of the pressure of Biafra. So now we make the thing they loud so that they go still dey on their own small group, still they suppress people will be say they rule. You understand? So a lot of things we do for this video will be say it could be important for you to watch to the end because any side there. In fact, these people know what thing they do, so they just want make Biafra go their own, make they still and they maltreat other people will be sitting in the rule. So I just want me to pay attention what this video to the end. The US Congress, the European Union don't take note of the speech of Goodluck Jonathan speak about the division of Nigeria. And at this point, I'm free to say that Biafra has come because it's now in the table of everybody right now. Goodluck Jonathan, in a meeting where Goodluck Jonathan don't make, will be saying they talk to the congressmen, they talk to the European Union, they talk to so many people about how the division of the country can be of a help. And Obasanjo don't make his own speech about the same division of the country because everybody don't say they are not fed up. Even you were one of the Tinubu cabinet was there. So many things they deliberated on how the division of the country can work. I go want make una pay attention. This video is very, very important. Watch it from the starting to the end and watch the criticism about what they go on the matter of division of the country. Everybody is now ready, both Hausa, both Yoruba, everybody is now ready. So I think at this point now, everybody is now good to go because the pressure of the US Congress, the US don't put pressure for Nigeria body to do the right thing. As it stands right now, Tinubu now don't be confused on what to do right now. They have no choice than to make sure say he separate this country or else in fact and now what Nigeria government they discuss now on how it could be for their own betterment because anyhow it is, they will look for loophole to make sure say they still benefit. But anyhow, what we want is that let Biafra come. That's our own problem. So anyhow we don't want to do them, may they do them because everybody is not fed up with the system. So I'm not gonna just talk much. I want you to pay attention. Watch this video from the starting to the end. Share this video to everyone on every social media platform. This is good news and this is a welcome development. Share this video to everyone and don't forget to drop your opinion at the comment section. Click the subscribe button for more updates.
Igbo quest for Nigeria's unity. These are things that agitate my mind. I started thinking about how we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this will help us to have a conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought four, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries, of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation. And the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This is accredited to Sir Amadou Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. They thought, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country. This is was said by Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, the former Prime Minister. The fourth and the last, let me not bore you. And I quote, each of our three regions is vastly different in many respects, but each has this in common, that despite variety of languages and customs, or differences in climate, all form part of one country which has existed as a political and social entity.
Northern Nigeria on high alert as US Congress set to propose Niger breakup. So guys, before we get into this video, if you've been following the news, you must have heard that the US lawmakers, some of them are set to be proposing, Trump splitting Nigeria into two. This is coming after US gave Nigeria a condition, and that condition is to remove the Sharia law from the constitution. That came with a whole lot of resistance. The Northerners are saying never, that the Sharia law has come to stay. It has come to stay. And now it is being said that one of the proposals, to be pushed to Trump is to split Nigeria so that the North, which is dominantly Muslims, can practice their Sharia law, freely, while the South, which is dominantly Christians, can practice their Christianity safely. So guys, a whole lot of reactions have followed this, considering the fact that many Northerners are sympathetic with the terrorists who are ravaging the country. You ask me why you don't see Boko Haram members, ISWAP members facing the law. How many of them have appeared before courts? How many of them are sentenced to jail? Rather, we see them being rehabilitated. When caught, they are rehabilitated like they told us, and sent back into the society, and also sent back into the military. Like we heard some military men raising alarm recently that integrated Boko Haram into the military they are leaking the information in the military. Anyway, that's not even the topic. Now, the US is set to be proposing Nigeria breakup, Now, before we get into this video, don't also forget that a former commander who is also a Yoruba man told Tinubu that the best thing he can do for Nigeria is to gather the courage to split Nigeria, because as for Islamization of Nigeria, that it is a done deal, that there's a lot of money being pushed to that, and the people behind it are very powerful. He said they are powerful individuals. That is, it's not even the terrorists. The terrorists are just the instruments they use to implement it. But the people who are actually pushing for the Islamization of Nigeria, that they are very powerful institutions. That if Tinubu can get the courage, that he should just split the country so that the North can be on its own, the South can be on its own. This is coming from a former naval commander who is also a Yoruba man who is, said to have been involved in researching insecurity that is going on in Nigeria. Moore, which is one of the US lawmakers, he's one of the people actually, proposing to Trump on what to do as regards to Nigerian insecurity. He posted this just a few hours ago, and he says, horrific news. Armed radical Muslim Fulani attacked 3 churches yesterday and kidnapped more than 100 Christian worshippers. This happened on Sunday, this Sunday that just passed. He went ahead to say, our brothers and sisters in Christ are facing an existential threat at the hands of the Fulani militants. More must be done to protect them. And I urge the Nigerian government to ensure the swift and safe return of all those who were captured. This is coming from Moore. So guys, you can see why the US is like looking into Nigeria should split into two, because nobody will want to say Nigeria should split into two. But when you have a country where these Fulanis, they will just mess up people's lives, they don't face the law, they are never jailed, they are never called out. Even when arrested, they will get called to release them. We have heard a police commander from Zamfara saying they arrested bandits, they sent them to Abuja. Before they knew it, they've all been released, even without him knowing that tells you that we have sympathizers of these people all over the places. And now the US is looking at the possibility of splitting Nigeria into two so that the North can fully practice Sharia law, because I believe Sharia law permits them to buy people, you are going to get 70 virgins. I don't think the Sharia law is against that, because it is said that in Islam, if they preach to you and you refuse to be converted, they are mandated to buy you or collect taxes from you. So it's either you pay them as you become a slave, work and pay them, or your life is gone because you rejected Islam. So guys, there are a lot of things why the country, and now look at it, the North is directly or indirectly trying to declare Nigeria an Islamic state. If you've seen the Nigerian military logo, there is an Islamic inscription there. If you see some of our Naira notes, there are, Islamic inscriptions on them. Now, I'm going to allow you to listen just a little bit from this Yoruba commander, a former, why I'm calling it, because if it's an Igbo man, you say, oh, it's an Igbo man. This is somebody who has done so much research. He's a well-learned man. Currently, he is a VC of a university. So he has retired. He has now gone into becoming a VC of an institution, a tertiary institution. But just to let you know that he's a well-learned man, he came out telling Tinubu, see, the best thing you can do for Nigeria, summon the courage, split the country. I've been in the military, I've been in the force, I've investigated Boko Haram and Islamic State, whatever, all the activities. I know much. He's the one that said that there are many people in Buhari's government who are sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria. And now he's on retirement, but he's now telling Tinubu, divide the country if you really want Nigeria to survive. And now the US is also looking at the possibility of splitting Nigeria so that the South can be on its own and practice its religion safely, while the Northerners, if they want to embrace Sharia law, they should go full-time embrace Sharia law. So guys, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at this video.
At this level, Nigerians are so uneducated when it comes to religion that the Arabs, the British, the Romans, they use religion actually to capture your state, to enslave you. We look at most of the religions, I don't want to be specific, they all practice slavery and also. So for us to be at this point where we're supposed to be talking about the hunger that is pervasive in Nigeria today, the inflation rate, the poverty, we are basically sitting in the hallowed chamber, and what we can discuss is that they want to remove personal from something. And that's what they are going there to do. When people are dying, people are committing suicide, families are collapsing, and they will sit down there and start talking about removing personal so that they can basically Islamize the country finally, because once you remove that personal, technically now Nigeria is Islamized.
All right, Ms. I want to be able to get the understanding of that, because the sections that the places that they were looking for amendments to, sections 24, 262, 277, and 288. And what I'm seeing here, Ali Musao, at the time when he suggested these changes in the 1999 Constitution, removing the word personal whenever it is mentioned from the section, allowing Islamic law to stand on its own. Explain to me the correlation between that and Islamizing the country, just so we can understand where you're coming from on this debate.
Yeah, where I'm coming from is very simple. We may think it's semantic, but it is not. Personal just talk about issue of marriage, things that are personal, maybe inheritance, maybe divorce, But if you look at the antecedents, Sanfala started this by introducing something that is taking care of criminal laws. Okay? So now they want to extend it. Instead of them to actually discuss the 1999 Constitution, it is a fraud already. That Constitution is a fraud. Now what you are doing now, you want to start, advancing the interest of those religious groups to actually now confirm that Nigeria is an Islamic state. And let me tell you something that people don't know. This thing was caused by the British. Between 1900 and 1960, they knew that they cannot govern the North except they allowed them to practice their religion, and they were using their religious leader to basically govern them. It is called indirect rule. Immediately after independence, 1960, the British knew that they shouldn't have forged these two people together. They know. But because they want to achieve the divide and rule and to be able to conquer and take our resources and steal whatever they want to steal over the years, they merged these two people together. They could not govern the North and South under one religious or administration. They know. So they now give independent and march you people to work together. That was why the 1960 coup started. That was how the Civil War started. Now, 86, Babangida came with OIC stuff, tried to Islamize us. It didn't work. In 2000, when 1999-2000, when Obasanjo came, he permitted them to start practicing Sharia. Today now, they want to consolidate it. Once you remove that person, all of us, whether you are Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Jukun, Christian, traditional, you are now under the law, the Islamic law, because they put it in the Constitution.
In fact, listening to the member that was representing Ahoda East, Abu Anudua Federal Constituency, River State, I want to get his words. He said personal matters that was envisaged, he says, by the people who drafted this constitution. And I want to quote him. The implication is, if the word personal is removed, Islamic law would have broader implications. The word personal was put there for a reason. Let's talk a bit about this whole conversation about Islamizing the country with our population and our dynamics. You know, is it possible that someone can sneak this in at some point and force all of us under some sort of regulation that we do not ascribe to? Is it possible that this can happen in this country?
It is possible, and don't be deceived. It's going to happen. Do you know Constantinople? Today's Turkey? They were almost 98% Christian before now. Today, it's an Islamic country. I did Islam in my master's program, and I was trained by Professor Alijani. He's a Persian. He's an Iranian American. And I scored A. That's excellent in Islam. So I know them. It may take them 1,000 years. They will Islamize Nigeria. So they will take it slowly, gradually. They don't forget. All of us will be dead after some time. Our children that don't care, or this Gen Z will come. They will still Islamize this country. If they can do it in Turkey, today's Turkey, what stops you? Why do you think they won't do it here? Except we take steps now, because we are the ones that are talking about these things. Our next generation in 50 years will not even care. You understand? So I'm thinking that if some part of the country, I don't want to be specific, if they feel strongly about an ideology, a religious, but I think they can restrict it to their area. And I think maybe Tinubu should do well by developing this issue of regional autonomy where everybody should organize themselves, or at worst, let the country actually go apart, and you can do whatever you want in your area. I've come to that conclusion that I don't think we can stay together because of this very strong belief about religion. So it's either we stay together, or people should mind their religion and stay where they are and practice what they want. Imposing it on others is wrong. I study Islam, and I don't want to talk blasphemy here. If I start talking about Islam in the next 3 hours, we will not live here.
No, we don't want you to talk blasphemy either. Talking about our country, in many, we are not a religious country, so to on paper. We're a secular nation. What kinds of conversations should we be having with the Nigerian people, especially the younger generation, about how to ensure that we remain secular, where you can practice your religion in any part of the country that you please without imposing your views or belief systems on any other person? What kind of conversations should we be having, and what should our lawmakers be thinking at the back of their minds? At least they've made the first step, which is dropping this bill and ensuring that it doesn't go through. But in subsequent conversations that you said will inevitably come up, what should we be doing as a people to ensure this doesn't happen?
I'm going to be extreme. For me, if you look at Sudan, we have now North Sudan, South Sudan. I think we should have Northern Nigeria and Southern. Then they can practice whatever they want. There's no dialogue because they will not stop. I've told you it may take 1,000 years. They will still do it. But if you let everybody go their way, maybe you have enough, they remain there, and you have the sovereignty down south, then you can do what you want. But if you remain and you think you can talk to your Jersey and people that don't care about anything, it will happen. It took hundreds of years before Turkey, Constantinople, Istanbul was converted completely today. And if you look at history will tell you that you cannot assuage these people. People have been sponsoring terrorism because they want to Islamize Nigeria. Now Tinubu has come, and it's a little bit very hard on them. That section, the kinetic approach is failing. So they are now trying to bring it through the constitution, or to legalize it. If we cannot go through the bush and kill as many people, and they are still resisting us, and this man has come and is fighting this is just killing all the fighters, then let us go to the house and bring it in through the back door. We just remove that clause, personal. They will not know. They may not pay attention. They will just, and that is it. They will still do this thing. But people should try to understand we are not the same people. The North and South are not the same. The British understood. That's why they are doing indirect rule. And they deliberately merge us so that we can continue to fight like this, and they can continue to take our resources away.
Speaking about the British, there are several theories out there in terms of all of this Chatham House moves and why our leaders always go to the West before elections. Do you think that the influence of the British about this particular matter and more is significant? Has it waned? Is it still growing? What should be done about it?
No, what the British did is just like what the Belgians, the other, like the French, is the same method of giving you independence, but they know that you are not independent. Why do you go to Chatham House? Igboho recently wanted to talk about Yoruba nation. I saw him in Britain trying to give them letter. Why do we do that? It's because they have very strong influence. Don't be deceived. British are very subtle. They're not like the French people. They're not like the Russians. Okay? They're not like the Chinese. Very subtle, very clever. They are the one that is making this happen because it benefits them. You can't be Nigerian president if you don't get the blessing of the British.
What is their benefit, though?
I mean, the British benefit?
Yeah.
It's economy. There's no other thing. It's just to be able to take your resources. Look at Sanfara. Look at all your gold and things that are mining every day. It's not going to the CBN coffers. It's going to individuals and the British and the Arabs also that are actually orchestrating some of this Islamic thing you are seeing. They are external. They are sponsoring these narratives, and they are benefiting by taking your resources away because they have some foolish Nigerians that they can use to help them to cut away your uranium, your gold, your silver, and so on. That's why all the time we never get leadership right. They are the one. And I don't want to talk too much, including the United States. You cannot be president in Nigeria if they don't actually give you their blessing, including France now. France is very strong. They have very strong influence on us now.
So having heard everything, wetin una make up from this statement, and I think saying that the pressure of the US made them they do this kind of thing, or they just want just talk and for formality say, and they no go take action because so many things will be say where they go on in this country will be say so many of them, they know they even take action about it. So what do you think at this point? What do you think? Drop your opinion at the comment section. Make sure you share this video to everyone so that they go tell us waiting they go on. Drop their opinion at the comment section. So share this video right now and click the subscribe button for more updates.